Okay, so we're getting ready for a trip to Henry's Lake in Idaho. You go after some cutthroats and some hybrid cutthroat rainbows and some brook trout. The ice is just terrible this year, so we're going to actually take our track sled that we built last year, and I've just got a punch list here of some goodies I'm going to grab, and we're going to knock that out today. So let's see what it takes to get ready for a early ice season fishing trip with little ice. See how we can pull this off. I'm going to take my camper since I'm not sleeping on the ice this trip. I'm going to take the camper to sleep in on the shore, and so that'll be nice. I can just chuck a bunch of gear in there, but we'll be taking the day tripper tent. If you remember, we put a couch in it. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm excited to try that out for the first time. So let's get after it. Thanks for joining me. So one of my mottos is just don't need to pack much, just take a toothbrush and a credit card. But it's nice to have a few other things, so we'll just get what we can. First thing I'm gonna do is fill my worm container, get rid of the old worms real quick. We'll put in some fresh ones from summer. There you go, guys. They're not doing too good, but they're doing a lot better than they will be doing here in a few days. One little straggler there. That's going to turn into a 3 or 4 pound trout shortly. So I like these little containers. I think Strike Master and Clam make them, different outfits. Let's see who makes them. I got the stickers off on both of them. But those are handy. If you forget them in your car overnight, usually you don't end up with frozen bait, depending on the weather outside. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this list of different things. I've sent the wife to the store to get my groceries, so that's a good deal. She's going to help me out there. Let's see, I've got some forceps right here. They're on my list. Got the worms. I'm going to get this little container for my spikes or mealworms. I'll just have that. I'll have to pick them up on the way. Okay, we got jaw jackers on the list. You can fish with 5 rods over there at Henry's. So I got 5 jaw jackers in here. I've got one more base in the house. I'll go grab that real quick. Those bases take AA batteries, so I'll probably steal a few of those out of the cookie jar. This wasn't even on my list, but I just remembered I did it the other day. Got some propane for the camper. Kind of an important item. Make sure the bases are set right. I always wear gloves because if I don't, I cut myself within seconds usually. Whenever I'm messing with anything. You want to crank those down just tight enough that the wife could never get them off if she tried. And it's sometimes a good idea after you get to the first gas station, check that. Make sure you're still tight. Make sure those are tight too. I've heard horror stories about those new connections on barbecues. Had a buddy who got pretty good burn trying to put a fire out next to his house. Another thing, batteries and a lantern. And of course you're gonna have a drill too. We'll go throw a battery right on the charger right now. We're in the camper and right in my closet here I have mounted a charger. Putting this charger in is the best thing I ever did. Anytime that generator's running, we're making juice. So, on a side note, I'll show you what I did to the camper this year. Tore out my bed. We got a leather seat there now, recliner. So, now you see why I want to take the camper. So here's another item I like to take, extra fishing line. I'm going to reline all my reels while I'm watching movies at night. And just gives you something to do, but also it's good to change out your line at the beginning of a new year. This is just your cheap trilene, 4 pound. I buy it in bulk, so it's a lot cheaper. And, you know, I don't use any of that ice fishing stuff unless I can get it. at a discounted end of the season. So this stuff catches me plenty of fish. Okay, so there's that second jaw jacker and base, so we're good there. Throw it in this little Pelican case. We'll go take it to the camper. I'm going to show you what I did here for these jaw jackers. I just took a hinge and bent it up like that. All I do is slam the Pelican case against the wall, puts that hinge down, and I fold the handle over the hinge. And that keeps it roadworthy. When you're going on the road, they don't, you know, do too much bouncing around. So thought that was kind of fun, just that little hinge. Okay, so we got our trusty drill here and our auger, the old Nils. That's only like a 4 or 5 inch drill, but good enough for the trout here. I've got a little niece coming up that's about a year old now, and we don't want to have 10-inch holes with her around them this year. So we're gonna keep her topside. Next item on my list is my generator for the camper. Also, I've got this 12-volt adapter for it that you can charge your batteries with. I actually charge my truck batteries sometimes. I'm a cheapskate, if you don't know me by now. And my batteries in my truck need replaced. So sometimes on a cold morning, I've had to just run that for 5 minutes, and it'll get me enough to get my truck fired over. So it's good to have those in a pinch. If you have a generator, I highly recommend those 12-volt cables. This also is key. This no spill gas can is awesome. You just push this green button and there's 0 spillage on the lake, which I care about. So then we'll take another can just for miscellaneous stuff and refills. And next we're gonna go get the rods for the jaw jackers. I don't know if you remember this rod holder we built. These are a good rod here, the Gina rod. Got those at Sportsman's, made by Lost Creek. Real sensitive tip, but a good firm backbone. So we'll grab a few rods. You never have too many rods, especially when I got visitors coming throughout the day. A couple years ago on the ice fishing forum, I learned a trick. You leave your house with a handful of rods, and you come back with a handful of rods. The wife never knows if you've been to the store and bought 1 or 2. So it's worked like a charm. Ever since I heard it, I thought it was kind of funny, but works like a charm, doesn't it, Gina? So here's some rod holders I built. I just took a piece of 1.5 inch PVC pipe, cut a 45 miter on it, and then drilled some 1.25 inch holes. And it holds these rods like a champ. Looks like I need to find some reels. On another note, my buddy Skyler made me these rod holders here for my shorter rods out of on his 3D printer. And those are pretty handy. Just take and put it in there and snap it in. Keeps everything from getting broken. The third style I use in this camper is these ones from Rapala, or Rapala. They just kind of snap in there like that. You got to be real careful because these jaws are pretty tough and they will take a fiberglass rod and make a bad day. So I just kind of give it a little pinch there before I put it in. So we'll go find some reels for those jaw jacker rods and go from there. Another thing that was on my list is these hole covers. At night if I'm fishing, I like to throw hole covers on. So there's our spud bar. We got it ready to go. Taking some boots, some socks, and I'll also grab a second pair of boots. I like to alternate my boots every other day so they have a chance to dry out overnight. I've got my floating coat from Striker, and I'll grab my bibs as well. And I even grabbed a sleeping bag and some pillows for the day tripper tent. I won't sleep in this at night, but it'll be in my day tent and I can just lay down and chill out. Maybe I'll sleep in the tent later on in the trip when my other buddies come up. Just gives me options. Love having options. Almost forgot. My trademark slippers. Don't leave home without them. Like an American Express. Okay, found my bibs and some gloves. Never can have too many. Found me a beanie, I got that on a channel called Old Timer Walker. I won that, and just love it. It's gonna bring me good luck this year on the ice. Got me some SD cards for the camera, charging cable for my camera. Went and raided Mama's cookie jar for batteries, AAAs and AA's. And just my fat sweatshirt. This is one that's kind of loose on Fat Boy, so I'm not claustrophobic all trip. And the Homer bucket, which, by the way, Home Depot doesn't make anymore. There's some stupid design, they don't have Homer on them anymore, so I'm not too happy. But anyways, that'll be for the old number 2 excursion. So I'm going to take a couple fish finders. Got an Ice 55 Humminbird, which I love. It sucks little juice, lasts a long time. And then I've got my Humminbird Helix 7 with the mapping. It's good to get the dust off these batteries. And I'm going to put these batteries in and verify that everything's charged up, ready to go. I like to bring at least 2 fish finders with me in case one craters. Okay, we'll hook this baby up, give it a look-see. We will go to the battery. I think you just take this beam button and hold it in. Battery 100%. Okay, so that's good. We'll shut that off, and the last thing I'll do is I'll unhook the positive terminal, just so we're not inadvertently turning it on our trip. That has happened before. So we'll test this one out. I usually hook the negative up first. It's just a bad habit I learned in high school auto shop. It's the one thing they did teach me. I couldn't tell you why I do it that way, just because that's what John Bench taught us at Olympus High School. About the only thing I learned there was watching Leave It to Beaver. It's pretty sad when you can get out of a high school mechanics class and you don't even know how to change your own oil. But that's my fault, for sure. But you know what? I don't regret learning about Leave It to Beaver. It's been a good show over the years. Same thing on this one. I'll unhook the positive terminal until we get to the lake. This one, that zipper can turn the power button on real easy, so be aware of that. The cows are mooing today. Let's go put those in the library. Frying pan down here. Let's make sure we got a frying pan and a saucepan. I don't see a frying pan. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, never mind. I got the frying pan. I forgot about that cast iron one we bought last year. That is a beauty. And can we boil water? Oh, yeah. So that's pretty much all I need. Spatula would be nice. I'll check on that here in a little bit. Gina might come up with one missing. You never know. Can opener. So yeah, spatula's on my list. Another tip of the day. Amazon. Like $3 for a 2-pack. Whew. Best thing I ever did to my camper. Best thing I ever did, hands down. $2 or $3 for 2 of them. So I stole a spatula from my flat top griddle set. That ought to work. I got we got socks and underwear. Got a hat. We got long johns, tops and bottoms. Pajamas, t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt, and some convertible pants. Because I'm going to be all over this trip. I'm going to be down in Salt Lake, up in Idaho. You never know what Fat Boy's going to need to wear. It could be 60 degrees in Salt Lake and 20 degrees in Idaho fishing on the lake. So just come prepared. So now I'm going to show you how to never have a flat tire. Is be prepared for one, and it never happens. Got the old impact drill, same batteries we use on the auger drills and the lanterns and everything else. And I bought this little deal on Amazon. I'll throw a link in. Paid link, by the way. It's got a little adapter that goes on your drill, and it's got just every size that you could possibly need for these little trailers we've got, and even your pickup truck. So that's just handy. If you bring that with you, you'll never have a problem. The moment you forget it, watch out. Yeah, buddy. That'll work. Got my window.
Oh, closed.
Dented my truck good, didn't I?
Like that, I think.
Yeah.
You're up against it now.
We'll throw a strap on that. Think in the future, might build me a little deck for this to set on so I can move it over a little bit. But it's good enough for today. There we go. Just like Jed clamp it. Well guys, it's the end of the day. Think I'm ready to roll. We're loaded for bear. So appreciate you coming along on this video. Kind of a different video, I'm sure, but sometimes it's good to just document what we're doing. Maybe give somebody some ideas, and if you have any suggestions for me, I'd love to hear them. Thanks again.